Welcome to Yoga with Dax. I'm so happy you're here with me. Today's practice that we're going to do, it would be great if you could have a chair. So I just have a regular chair here, so any firm chair will do. There's one pose you may want a belt or a tie for, and perhaps you might want a brick around, but it is not necessary to have a brick. So let's just land here in our chair. So you can pause for a minute and get your chair if you don't have one, and we'll get started. Okay, so sitting in our chairs, it's important not to sit back against the chair. I'm up further in my chair. And just see that your feet are right beneath your knees, and just take a moment to close your eyes and grow the tower of your spine so that it reaches all the way up to heaven, and you're sitting up nice and straight and you're nice and broad in your heart and chest. And just take a minute to maybe close your eyes and land in the present moment, letting go of any chatter in your mind, letting go of any worries or fears or doubts, or even any judgments that you might have on yourself or others. And just beginning to come into tune with our breath and awareness of our breath. So maybe just beginning to breathe in and out through your nose. And letting the inhalation through the nose and the exhalation through the nose just bring you into a place of presence in this moment, so that we can be here to practice together. And maybe take your hands right to your heart for a moment, bow your head, connect to your heart and to your presence and to this moment, and maybe set an intention for our practice together. It could be a prayer, prayer for what's going on in the world. It could be to find peace within or without. Anything, just set a moment of intention. Good. And then inhaling, let your eyes open. And we're going to begin with a nice strengthening breath. So we're going to interlock our hands. So I have this hand coming toward this one, and I'm just going to interlock it right in front of my heart center, in front of my chest. And there's like a slight pull in my hands. And we're going to do a breath. We're going to inhale to a count of 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top of the breath for the count of 2. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold at the bottom of the count for 2. And you can do this slower or faster, but if you can possibly breathe through your nose, do it through your nose. We're going to do a few of these breaths. Inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding, and just continuing at your own pace and just building up some strength in this moment for our practice. Strength for our life. And as you're exhaling, just let the exhalation ground you into this moment, into your body. And as you inhale, let yourself fill up with energy, with life force. And then slowly release those arms and just roll the shoulders out. All right, and then to open our hips, you're going to take your left foot and cross it over your right knee. And just take a moment allowing that hip to open. Allow the top of your thigh bone to externally rotate in its socket. so that you can just feel this hip falling open, allowing the knee to just weight down. Just keeping the joints stacked, ankles over knees, knees over ankles. And then arms out to the side. Let's roll the palms open and inhale them up with a big breath. On the exhale, let's drop the right arm to tickle down between the shoulder blades. This is the pose. If you wanted to have a belt, you could have a belt here on your shoulder to hold. And then taking the opposite arm out to the side, roll the thumb forward and down, cross it across your midline, reaching, and then reach up for the opposite hand. So I'm just going to turn around to show you quick. You're kind of reaching for the opposite hand here, or reaching for the belt if you decided to put a belt over your shoulder. And again, just lifting the heart and chest. And then deep breath in on the exhale, just come forward any amount, like hinge forward, but keep your chest lifted up. And keep breathing, beautiful breaths through your nose. Inhale back to center, lifting up through the right hand, up through the left hand, releasing down. And just rolling the shoulder out. Release the leg, and we'll do the second side. So crossing ankle over knee, allowing that hip to begin to really roll open any amount. External rotation from the top of the socket. That basically means you're rolling it outward. So there's a rolling out in the top of your joint. And just sitting up nice and straight. Arms out to the side, rolling the palms open, inhaling the arms up, exhaling to tickle between the shoulder blade, or again, if you had wanted, you can put a belt over that arm. And then taking the right arm out to the side, thumb goes forward, down and back, crosses the midline and creeps either up the belt or to the opposite hand, or even just reaching for it is fine. And then inhaling, lifting the heart and chest. On the exhale, come forward with a long, straight spine, any amount to deepen the stretch in the hip. Smile to release tension. And then inhaling up, we'll lift up first with the left hand, right hand, out, and then releasing that. Good. And then second, we're gonna take our right foot into the center, into our center line, lift our left one up, cross it over, maybe even try to, you can either just cross the thighs nice and high like so, or you can try to wrap or tuck that around if you want to. Taking what we call eagle legs. Arms come out to the side, lift the chest, take a deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to take the left beneath the right, crossing the arms as high as you can. If you can wrap the arms into eagle arms by just taking the palm to palm, go ahead. Otherwise, just wrap yourself in a little hug here. Either way is good. Inhale, lift those elbows up any amount. On the exhale, come forward with a long, straight spine so that your elbows come towards your knees and you're kind of squeezing the outer hips in. Breathing from the side, this sort of looks like this. You're keeping your spine as lifted as you can and you're just coming forward. And then inhaling to come up. Exhale, release the arms, release the legs, and we'll do the second side. So left one in the middle, right one comes up, crossing it over, tucking if you can, or just crossing and squeezing the outer hips in. Big spread of the arms, big breath in. On the exhale, right beneath left, crossing high and hugging or wrapping. Inhale, lifting elbows, exhale, long straight spine forward. And as you're coming forward, you're spreading your heart open against the internal rotation going on in your chest. You're widening your collarbones, you're widening your heart space. And then inhale to come up, exhale, release those arms, and then release the leg as well. Good. All right, so now we're just gonna come to standing. And I'm gonna put my chair over here, and we're gonna take a chair dog. So a chair dog, there's external rotation of the arms, so they're rolled out and then spread the fingers and let the hands turn out. And then just step back a little bit. So you can begin like here and sort of like a table, but to come into dog, you're just gonna think about lifting the hips up and taking the tops of your thighs back. So kind of moving back from the tops of your thighs as if someone were pulling them with the belt to make you nice and long here. To stretch the shoulders, to stretch the back. So there's not a lot of weight in your hands. Your neck is soft and free. And if you can kind of get your whole torso long from the head to the tail, ears close to going between your arms. Energetically, your thighs are going back, but your breastbone is moving forward toward the chair. And just take a couple of nice big breaths there. Stretching it out in a chair dog. Do. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale into a plank position. That means your butt is flat. Try not to collapse into your wrists. Try to be in the knuckles of your hands and try to drop the butt. And then exhale dog. And we're going to do a few of those. Inhaling through the nose, plank, get strong. Exhaling dog. And you could even, if you wanted to go into a back bend a little bit, you could inhale into an up dog if your wrists can handle that kind of thing, and exhale into a down dog. So you can take either variation here. The important thing is that your chair is on a mat and not on a floor that you can go flying in, because that would not be good. So inhaling forward, exhaling dog. A couple more. Either plank or up dog. Stretching it out, so nice. Good, and after your next exhalation in dog, just look up at your chair. Walk forward a little bit, hands to the tops of your thighs, and inhale up with a nice long straight spine, roll the shoulders out. And then coming into a restful pose, good for anxiety and stress, we'll come into Arda Uttanasana first, just putting the hands right under your shoulders. Your feet can be hip width or even a little further apart, if you like. And we're going to get nice and long, and then we're going to just sort of come down to the forearms for a minute, release the head. See where your head is in relationship to your chair. You might want to raise up with a brick if your head's nowhere near your chair seat. But if it's close, and you can always widen your feet to get closer to the chair too. But if you're close, just find your way to the crown of your head, or you can put a brick on the seat or two. Anywhere that you can kind of rest the crown of your head, adjusting, the distance of your feet can help. But finding that place where you can just rest here. The knees can be slightly bent, and you're just going to release your hands down the chair legs. And you're just going to release your mind for a moment. Just release everything into the breath, into being here in your practice, into just being here in this moment in your body. And just taking a couple breaths in and out through the nose. And as you exhale, just letting go of whatever it is that's got you, if anything does. Being rejuvenated by your inhalations, fed by the breath. And letting go of what no longer serves you in your exhalations, releasing it. Good, and when you're ready to start to come out of this pose, just kind of inhale and lift the head. You can come back up to the forearms if you want. Coming to the hands to the hips, coming up with a nice long straight spine, and just taking a mountain pose for a moment. And just feeling the effects of that forward fold with a little bit of rest in it that you could take anywhere into your day, at the office, at home, anytime you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed or depressed. And then releasing that. Okay, so next we're gonna do a couple more things with the chair. I'm going to lift up my my right leg. Oh, I always wonder if I'm up from the side, if I'm actually having to mirror you. I think it is, but I'm gonna lift up my right, I'm just gonna say my right leg. And I'm going to stand up nice and straight. And arms are gonna come out to the side. I'm gonna roll my palms open and inhale my arms up. On the exhale, I'm gonna twist toward the leg and I'm gonna open my arms. And we're just gonna do that. And then we're gonna inhale back to the center. And then we're gonna exhale and twist. But we're gonna try to stay nice and straight and strong in the standing leg. Keep the torso lifted. We'll do a couple more of these. Good, and then inhaling up, back to center, exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale, lift the chest and come forward. Exhale, hook the elbow on the outside of the knee. Ground through your standing leg, lengthen through your torso, and just take a nice little twist here. So the knee is kind of going against the elbow against knee, lengthening the torso. And twisting. So, all right. Good, and then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, gently release that. Good, and we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So my left leg is gonna come up. Find my heel, hip alignment and my heel knee alignment as best I can. Arms out to the side, palms roll open, inhaling up. Big breath in. Exhale, rolling the belly toward the lifted leg and opening. Inhale back to center. Exhale, open. Enter your breath in your practice. Making the movements very mindful and very aligned with your breath. Okay, one more like this. Inhaling back to center, exhaling hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the chest, come forward, rotating toward the lifted leg, hooking the elbow to knee. We're kind of dropping this bent leg, hip down and back any amount, squeezing the hips together to find a nice revolve. And if you can, you're lengthening the torso so that there's still lots of room between each vertebrae. And squeezing the outer hips in, resisting elbow to knee, and breathing, of course. And inhaling slowly back to the center, exhale, releasing that. Good. Next, we're going to do a nice little exercise where we're going to do that external rotation of the leg from the top of the thigh. So you're turning your leg out. Find the proper distance that your heel can go right over the edge of the chair, the lip of the chair, and really get that rolling out. And orientate your hips kind of forward if you can, so the leg is turning out right from the top of the thigh. And then we're going to do a little exercise. You can either choose to bring your arms up if you want to work the arms a little, kind of cupping the deltoids or the caps of your shoulders, or you could go right at the hips if you want to. But we're going to kind of take our torso out over the leg as we exhale, and then we're going to inhale up. Inhale up, exhale down and over. And just keeping long in the torso, inhaling up, exhaling down and over, nice and long. And you can do it either that way or this way. Tipping. Continuing to kind of take the outer hips in toward each other and ground through your standing leg. Couple more of these with breath. Inhaling up, exhaling down and over. Good. And then inhaling up, exhaling, releasing that leg down and shaking out the standing leg. And then we'll do the second side of that. Leg out to the side, nice extension, rolling open. Exhaling, lengthening out over the leg, inhaling up. We'll do a couple with the hands at the hips first, just to get the idea of getting really long. And then if you want to try it with capped shoulders, rolling open, capping the shoulders, you can even reach with the elbow as you're doing this to come out long over that. Inhaling up, exhale, reaching. Couple more. Good. And then slowly bending the leg and coming down, releasing the arms. Excellent. So next we're going to put the leg up on the chair again, rolling it out, being at the length again that the heel comes over the lip of the chair, taking a nice big breath in, and then we're going to exhale into warrior two. So the standing leg toes can turn in a little tiny bit toward the chair. The torso is upright. And we're going to inhale, come up, exhale, warrior two. And we can do inhale up, exhale, warrior two. Inhale up, exhale, warrior two. Two more of these. Kind of really deepening into the stretch. And then we're going to hold in warrior two. We're going to inhale warrior two. We're going to exhale and lengthen the torso out over that leg and take the arm up and over. And then inhale warrior two. Exhale, Utthita Parasvakonasana, up and over. Reaching. Inhale. Keep the bend of warrior two, but stay stabilized in your standing leg. Up and over. If you can roll the heart up as you're doing this, do that as well. Big breaths. Two more here. And one more. Find your strength. Take your stand here for your health, for your breath, for life itself. Good. And then slowly come on down. Whew, and shake that out. You might be starting to feel this through your hips. Let's do the second side. So again, we're gonna kind of roll that out. We're gonna take a nice upward stand, and we're gonna inhale. We're gonna exhale, warrior two. Again, standing leg can turn in a little bit. If you want, your knees should be going out over your second and third toes. Inhale up, straightening the leg. Exhale, warrior two. Standing leg, staying really grounded through the outside edge of it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Your own pace. Doing these at your own pace with your own breath. And then holding in our warrior two here for a minute, finding our both legs, our strength. Inhaling warrior two, exhale, extending the side over the arm and taking the arm up and over, rolling the heart up at any amount. Inhaling warrior two, exhaling Utthita Parshvakonasana. These hands are just going to reach straight line if you can from the foot through the fingertips. Inhaling up, exhale, release and roll open, opening up your heart to heaven. Couple more. With breath, big inhalation, big exhalation. Inhaling, exhaling. One more like that. And then inhaling warrior two, straighten the leg and step down and just shake that out. Good. All right, so next we're going to do a nice little activity that really kind of is a big stretch. So what I'm going to have you do is put your leg over your chair. So here I am, the leg that's, your chair back will be facing forward. The leg that's further away from the chair back, you're going to put over. And then you're going to stretch back through the other leg. So ultimately your hips are kind of opening to the chair back here. So we're going to take a minute. You can come in with this leg bent forward a little bit and try to get that alignment of your knee over your ankle and your front leg kind of close up to where the chair legs are. And then kind of reaching back through the opposite leg and trying to find straight. Once you have that, think about your front hip moving forward a little bit. And if you can think about energetically this back thigh moving back. And just try to get vertical. This is a very deep warrior two. You can charge the arms if you want. Yeah, try to get strong in the legs. And the tendency in this pose is for the knee to cave forward. So just keep trying to roll open through that front thigh. Charging those arms. You can hold onto the chair back if you want. And then if you want, you can either even go inhale, warrior two, or you can come out if it's hurting, of course. Exhale, Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, Utthita Parshvakonasana. Couple of those. Good. And then inhaling warrior two. On the exhale, we're going to just let that knee bend forward. Hips can turn toward the chair. Gracefully as possible, come out. And we'll move our chair to the other side, back facing forward. Taking a minute to come across. Aligning knee over ankle, close to the chair seat. Taking your time. You don't have to go all the way if it hurts. You can kind of just work toward that thigh coming down. You can always bend the knee. The trick is to not dump back into that back sitting bone. So you can work at being here, not on the chair. You can work at the knee being slightly bent in the back, either way, if it's not working yet. But working toward a real opening of the hips where they're facing fairly forward. That front hip is moving forward. This back thigh is moving back. You can hold on to the chair seat if you want. You can charge your arms into warrior two if it's comfortable. And then just take a minute here. And if you want to, you can inhale here and exhale into Utthita Parshvakonasana. Doing a few of those. Always coming out if there's any pain. Honoring your body where it's at right now. Couple more nice big stretch here. Good, and then inhaling warrior two. To exit, you're just gonna bend that knee, let the hips turn forward, slowly come up and out, and just feel the effects of that pose. Awesome. All right, so We have a couple more minutes here. So what I think we're gonna do is first we're gonna step our feet wide. If you have a brick around that you wanna use, you can bring it right in front of you. Step your feet nice and wide. Toes turn in a little bit, heels out. Come forward with a long straight spine. You can bring your hands to your brick if you want, or to the floor. And just take a moment to elongate the spine forward. And then if you want to walk the hands back between the feet, and we're going to try to find a place. You can use one brick or two. You could even have your head on your chair if you're not going down very far. But find a way, again, just like earlier, where you can rest the crown of your head. And just take a moment here. The legs should be quite straight. And you can just let the shoulders relax. The fingertips are facing forward. If you can find your hands beneath your elbows, or if you're up higher, maybe the hand alignment between the hands and the shoulders. And just take a couple big breaths there. Letting go again. Maybe finding that breath again where you inhale to the count of 3 or 4 and hold to the count of 2, and exhale to the count of 3 or 4 and hold to the count of 2. And when you're ready to come out, inhale with a nice long straight spine. You can heel toe in a little bit. Bring the hands to the tops of your thighs and inhale to come right on up. Just roll that shoulders out. Good. So we're going to take a chair. I'm going to give you a couple of options for what we're doing next before Shavasana. So your choices are, you can either come into a simple, I'm going to put this on my cape for when I use it. You can either take a brick and come into a simple bridge where you're walking your heels up to your sitting bones. You're lifting the pelvis and you're putting the brick under your sacrum. You can put it down low like this, or you can put it kind of medium like this, or even high if you can. And you're just going to roll the shoulders under, looking straight forward, not straining the neck to turn either way. And just resting here in a supported bridge like so. Can feel so good. Wow. The second yogi option is to, you have to be able to do a deep bend in the knees to do the second option. Your knees have to be able to go to your chest almost, because you have to be able to hold on to these chair legs. So to do that, you have to be able to really bend the knees deep in order to hook your heels over the edge of your chair. So if you want to try it, you'll hold the chair legs, you'll hook your heels, and you'll just lift up and through to a bridge here. And the important thing is that the chin stays forward in the sternal notch and the head doesn't turn. The shoulders roll under, and you just lift up through the pelvis, supported on your shoulders. Relax the neck. If it hurts, go to the other posture. It's probably, it's a good prep for this. And just take a couple of breaths here. And either posture, really lifting up through the hips and softening the back, softening the neck and shoulders. When you're ready to come out, release the shoulders. You can walk the feet a little bit and just slowly come down. An option for Shavasana, if you have your chair and you want to kind of put your shins on your chair to rest like this, you can do that. Or if you're ready to come into a nice flat Shavasana, you can just move your chair aside or come off of your brick if you were on a brick, and just lie down on your mat to rest and integrate the benefits of our practice together today. So just either legs up on the chair if you were very comfortable there, Or just lying flat on your mat, seeing that your space is clear and you're not touching anything. Allowing your feet to be as wide as your mat and your arms by your sides, palms facing heaven. Open to receive heaven's grace. Allowing the earth that's beneath you to hold you. Allowing your body to soften and let go of any trying, any holding or grasping. Allowing yourself to just soften deeply into this very moment. Even the breath can soften. Allowing thoughts to just soften. Allowing your energy to move inward, downward, and inward. Softening your neck and shoulders and arms. Releasing your belly, your hips, buttocks, and legs. Your hands let go, and your feet let go. And your head becomes very heavy as well. Releasing all tension and expression from your face into absolute softness. And as you rest there, I will read a little bit to you from the Tao of Healing. Some say that living in the moment is absurd and irresponsible. How can you trust those who might harm you? How will you survive without planning and toil? How can you heal without first being schooled? Fear of death, fear of want, the fear of separation from God. To choose to trust allows the fullest expression of life. To choose to serve creates the greatest abundance. To choose compassion brings oneness and health. Values found only moment by moment, banishing all fear. The only rational response to life. So just allowing yourself to come back into your body, maybe gently wiggling the fingers and toes. And bending the knees when you're ready to softly roll onto your side. And then slowly with an inhalation, just pressing up to find a seat, either on your chair or cross-legged, or even in Virasana. I'm using a little brick, so I come kneeling, I spread my feet, put a brick beneath and sit down. That's always a way you can sit as well. Whatever feels supportive to your spine being nice and tall and long. And we'll take our hands to our heart centers and just connect again to our hearts, to our wholeness. And as your hand connects, your thumbs connect into your heart and your wholeness, let your fingers spread out like the rays of the sun, connecting to heaven and connecting out to all of our fellow travelers on this earth, all sentient beings, and even to the earth herself. And I thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today and sharing this time with me. Namaste. Have a beautiful week, beautiful rest of your day, whatever you're doing.